Hi there, Becky here from 168 Fitness. I hope you've had a really proactive last week or so and you've now all started to achieve your health, fitness and weight loss goals ahead of the summer holidays. If you haven't already started, my message is still the same. Get started, take that first step. I promise you won't regret it. Just do one thing that's going to help you to achieve your goals once you know what those goals are, and just keep taking that next step. That's my key message always, is taking that first step and then just keep doing it one step after the other, and I promise you'll be feeling the benefits in no time. Hopefully you've all started though, because I've been saying that for a few weeks now, and you've got some successes to be evaluating, because that's this week's homework, to be thinking about the successes that you've already had. Some of you may have been working towards your goals since the start of the year. Maybe it was some New Year's resolutions, to get fit, lose weight, etc. And you'll have a lot more success to evaluate, and that's great. And some of you though may have only started this week or a few weeks ago, and that's absolutely fine too. You'll still have some successes to evaluate, and I really encourage you to do that, because sometimes we can lose sight of what we've actually achieved already, and we beat ourselves up for the things we haven't achieved, or how far there is still to go towards that goal. So it's really important to think about how far you've come as well, because that can be really motivating, and it's really positive as well to think about the effort you've been putting in and what you've got out of it. So that's what I want you to do this week. That's your homework, is to think about what you've achieved. Now it can be the real small things, like you've been for one run this year and last year went for no runs, or this year you've lost £2 and last year you didn't lose anything. Or it can be that, even smaller than that, it can be that you chose an apple instead of a Mars bar for a snack yesterday. Things like that, they get overlooked, but actually it's those small things that if you keep doing those small things, repeat those behaviours, then you will achieve the bigger goals in the longer term. So it's those things that you need to be praised for, even if it's just yourself. You don't need to tell anyone unless you want to, but it's those things that you need to praise yourself for. Reward yourself in a positive way. Ideally, don't reward yourself with the Mars bar, because that's counterproductive. But if you reward yourself by, I don't know, buying yourself a magazine, or putting your feet up this evening, watching your favourite TV programme, or if you've achieved some bigger successes, then you might want to have a weekend away, or whatever it is. Buy yourself some new kit. That's always a good one. Exercise gear, etc. But my main message is that focusing on those small achievements that you've had so far, no matter how small they are, or whenever you started, how few or many there are of those successes, but to be praising yourself for what you have done already, the achievements you have made, and using that as motivation to keep yourself going and achieving those bigger successes and those longer term goals as well. If you haven't started, or if you really can't think of any successes that you've had so far, then have a think about the level of effort you've been putting in. Now, if you can honestly say you've been putting in near enough 100% effort, you've been really careful with what you're eating, or you've been exercising 5 times a week, or whatever it is you've been doing, you think you've been doing all the right things to achieve your goals, whatever those goals are, and you still really don't think you've achieved anything, you're not feeling fitter, you've not lost weight, you're not feeling more energised or more confident when you look in the mirror, your clothes aren't fitting any better, you're not feeling any more toned or anything, like there's no successes, then that might be the time to get in touch with me, for one. But just, you may need to have a closer look at the actions that you are taking. Are they the right actions for your goal? Are they actually the right steps to achieving that goal? Because I'd be really surprised if you've been consciously making some kind of effort, even if it's only a small amount of effort. You get out what you put in, basically. So if you put a small amount of effort in, you're going to achieve some small successes, which is still fantastic. But the more effort you put in, the more you're going to get out of it, the better results you're going to get, or the faster it's going to happen. And then evidently the better you're going to feel in the longer term, or even in the shorter term when you put more effort in. So really do think about what you've achieved, how it's making you feel. If you've not achieved anything or you don't feel like you have, then have a think about what effort you've been putting in, how can you improve on it, how can you achieve more, how can you put more in to achieve more. And that's really what I want you to focus on this week, evaluating your success, your progress, your effort level, and then continuing with it as well so that you can achieve bigger and better things in the next few months leading up to the summer. So if you do have any questions, always happy to help. Want to offer my advice to anyone who is keen to get in touch, and I'll be back next week with some more top tips.